Bobby's Room Videos! Hello everyone! How's it going on this fine Wednesday evening? I don't know if anybody is in the room so far, but we do have a decent little conversation to go over today. What do we think? We think drone pilots' payouts are too high, or were too high at one point, and now we are going to be coming into a newer age of everyone undercutting everybody. That's what it seems like is happening at this point, and that's what this article seems to be about today. So we're going to go ahead and try looking into it, see what we can find about this whole thing today. So as of right now, I know we have one person watching. I do want to go over this topic, but I want to wait until we have at least a couple more people. Let's hope we can get a couple more people in here just to see what we can go ahead and discuss with this. But I've read through this article a little bit, and honestly, I'm none too happy about this. So I'm really concerned about possibility of what's going on with this. So if you are in the chat, I'd like you to say hi. I'd like to know who is here. See if we can get anybody to join us. Nobody at all participating in the chat. There is nobody talking. I do see we have 2 watchers so far. 2 people watching right now. I would like to go ahead and get some talk going on about this. So if you're here, say hi. If you're not, don't. So it looks like I am the only one in the chat currently. I could be wrong. I really don't know. So let's see. Anybody in here? If you're here, please say hi to show 2 people watching currently. Oh, look. Hey, what's up, Sarah? How's it going? How's it going? All right, we do have somebody in the chat. Thank you, Sarah, for joining in. It's the first time I've seen you on one of our live streams, Sarah. So thank you. I appreciate it. So, anybody else want to say hi? It's Sarah and one other person. I do want to go ahead and go over this article. We got 3 people in. 3 people in. Oh, yay. All right, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and I guess we can start going over this article. Let me go ahead and switch. I do have a web page opened up. I'm going to go ahead and transition over and see if this works. All right. Look at that. Look at the website popping up for me. We got 4 people in here. You're not running around with your kids. All right, Sarah. Hey, if you can sit here and watch and enjoy watching about drone people not making as much money as they used to, feel free to join in the conversation if you have something to say. Basically, this article was on Bloomberg just the other day. My friend Brad was actually going to go ahead and cover it on his live stream when his computer failed. I did read this too before he had brought it up on his live stream, so it is a topic I wanted to go ahead and discuss. So, as far as with it, I mean, it does show about 3 years ago, whenever they started doing the whole Part 107 process for drone certified drone Part 107 pilots. People were able to go ahead and just make money like it was no business. I mean, people wanted aerial photographers and everything. You can go in and say, hey, look, I'm a Part 107 pilot, and away you went. On here it even shows this one guy, it says Andy Trench, $2,000 a day in 2015. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then it shows now he's only fetching about $175 for the same stuff. So, it's upsetting to me that for some of the same work you're getting. I mean, that's next to nothing. I mean, and this shows 90%. That's more of a, that's a little bit more than just 90%. I mean, yeah, that's the average, I guess, but it's only been 3 years since they allowed commercial drone flights now, and I don't know. I just kind of find it upsetting because you have some smaller drone photographers like me, for instance, wanting to get into the business, and it's been tough. I have yet to have anybody want to hire me. I've had calls. I've definitely gotten some calls, and then that's the end of it. Yeah, and it is because the market is saturated with pilots and photographers. Ashley, that's right. You have the market saturated with a bunch of pilots and photographers, and when they're marketing their products, they're not keeping the consistent price. They're undercutting everybody around them, and it makes it tough because you're going to start seeing the price go down, 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 and at that point, it's not even worth doing anymore. And it's really upsetting that it even gets to that point. Anybody else want to join in on this conversation here? We got Sarah, we got Ashley. Somebody else watching right now. I don't know who it is, but they're not chatting in. I mean, I wish supply and demand was the case here, but yeah, word of mouth is good too, but word of mouth only goes so far, to the point where the word of mouth is great, but then money talks as well, and and this is kind of in a negative way. I mean, usually you would say money talks, like, yeah, the more you show your work, the better. And I definitely try showing my work. I haven't been able to show much work for the past 3 weeks, but at the same time, if you have people who are saying, yeah, I'll do it for $100, all right, well, if I'm sitting here saying, yeah, it's about $225, and someone else is like, yeah, I'll do it for $100, I don't care about the laws, that's going to go ahead and knock down the price. And then I'm not, you're going to have someone who is wanting to abide by the rules, the regulations, and everything set by the FAA, and then you have, Joe lawbreaker not wanting to go ahead and do it. Oh, that was a really stupid analogy, but I mean, it makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. Just kind of upsetting to me that we have it to where yes, it has been oversaturated, but then also on top of it, you have you have even like the real estate photography and everything. You have just you have real estate realtors just popping in and saying, yeah, I have a drone, I'll fly it. Or, yeah, my kid has a drone, I'll fly it. They're not even, a lot of them aren't even Part 107 certified. I mean, granted, they're starting to be, but at the same time, I mean, I went to an estate sale at a $2.6 million house that I watched the video for it, and I know that person did not get FAA approval to fly for that real estate video. There is no way in hell that person did that. And it's really upsetting. It looked like the real estate agent probably just threw their drone up in the air. There was nothing smooth about it, nothing. It was just, hey, look, I have a camera. Look, oh, look at the pretty house. Oh, I'm going to land it. And it was shaky as could be during the flight. It was horrible. Hey, Brad. How's it going? I guess you just joined in. Yes, it is now. It is now. Yes, now. So we're talking about it is going well. Good, good. So we're talking about your article that you tried bringing up yesterday on your live stream. I figured I'd steal it because I was interested in it as well, as I mentioned to you. Yeah, pricing. pricing, pricing, pricing. And it's I was talking about that you have not only the you know, as on the article says here, you have these bigger companies that are coming in and trying to go ahead and just throw money at everything, but then at the same time you have you know, for example, with real estate, you know, real estate aerial photography, you have these realtors popping their drones up without a Part 107, taking some, you know, quick shot of a house, saying, "Oh yeah, look, I got drone photography," and I was giving my example of $2.6 million house I went to an estate sale at. I watched their drone video, and that there's no way that was done by a professional, you know, Part 107 pilot. On top of it, it was within Tampa International's airspace. There's no way they got this footage. Yeah, it annoys the crap out of me too. I'm right there with you. So it's just upsetting because you have, you know, these realtors that are like, "Oh, I'll get my son, or I'll get, you know, I'll throw my drone up and not have to worry about paying for it or anything like that." And the FAA is not cracking down on them like they said they were going to. Yeah, it was in Tampa airspace. Yeah. It was right on the edge of it, but that still was a no-fly, you know, needing approval, anyone under 100 feet. That's right. I'll give little Jimmy $10 to do it. You know, and it's ridiculous because then you have these people that are overskirting the laws. No, the increase in regulation isn't going to be as bad as it sounds to an extent, because they're also going ahead and allowing Part 107 pilots like us to be able to go ahead and go through automated approval to where we don't have to wait 90 days for approval. We can go ahead and hop into an app, click a button, get approval, and take off. You know, and Brad's covered that on his channel too. But yeah, they do need to, and Brad's right, they need to enforce the regulations that they have now. And that's been a big problem, that there has been no enforcement of the regulations. Honestly, the only enforcement you usually see is with the National Park Service. And even then, it's after the fact. Once the video's posted. You know, that's the only time that I've even seen it. And then they come knocking at your door like, hey, all right, we need you to pay us $5,000 because you flew in the national park and disturbed the peace. So at that point, it's not even the FAA doing it; it's the National Park Service saying, "Hey, you know, pay me $5,000, or else we'll take you to court, and then you get, you know, a federal charge." But you know, and then they mention. Yeah, you know, just like you said, there's been no enforcement. You know, and I've seen plenty of videos where, you know, people aren't following these guides and everything like that. Yeah, the national parks are more diligent than the FAA. That's right. So, when a drone goes up, does anyone know? And Brad makes a good point. No one knows, but technically there are technologies that do have the ability of tracking each one of these drones while they're up in the air. The problem is they're being developed. Like, they're not even in full force. They're talking about, oh, in like 3 years time, oh yeah, it'll be the case. Well, at that point, you know, the drone industry is going to go in the toilet if that's the case. And you have DJI that's trying to go ahead and sit here, but then you have the FAA that you know, is pushing this new agenda on trying to go ahead and allow for this free commercial drone opportunity, to where, you know, in certain areas you have these commercial drones flying all over the place. They're going to need something to track all these, but like I said, the technology's being developed, but it's not in full force. Yeah, they are expensive, and it lasts a lot of money. Adds a lot of money to the cost of the drone. You know, and then I think the other issue we run into is something that has been discussed. I've seen on multiple channels is DJI has the market cornered. You know, DJI has what, 90% of the drone market, at least in the U.S., if not, you know, all over. I mean, and I'm pulling the 90% out of my ass at this point, but you know, there's a high possibility that it is up, you know, up there. You have DJI who comes out with the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0, which I'm sure is a good drone, but at the same time, it's the same drone they came out with last year. They just changed the props and changed the ESCs a little bit. You think they have 72, Brad? I don't know. I'm talking about, okay, in the photography drone market. Let's just go ahead and say photography drone market. I'm not talking in this situation. I'm not thinking toy drones or anything like that. That's the last number you saw. But you know what? Even that number is, I mean, where's that number coming from? I mean, really, I mean, what drones do you see on the market being advertised more, you know, than what the DJI drones are? I mean, granted, DJI has all this money apparently behind it to go ahead and back it up, but even Autel has plenty of money behind it. I mean, they're a huge robotics company, but yet you have the Evo that, I don't know, has the Evo actually launched yet? I don't even know. If it has, I sure as hell haven't seen it. You know, but I don't even think it has. I mean, Brad, you would know that more than I would, to be honest. Yeah, bigger percentage of photo drones. See, not yet. And honestly, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they missed their opportunity at this point. You know, by the time they release that thing, DJI is already going to be 5 steps ahead of them. Yeah, you know, an Autel guy that got a new P4P today, and that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they missed it by a long shot. Who's that new Autel guy? Or who's that Autel guy that got a new P4P today? Have I happened to have talked to him in the past? You know, and then you have the X-Stars and everything like that. You know, that Variable's been trying to work on. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, I kind of figured. You know, he's been trying to go ahead and get batteries working for it. You know, and then the same thing, my friend Daniel, Drone Worship. It's the same thing. He has his 3DRs, and granted, he started working on a great solution at this point. You know, and that was rebuilding the batteries, which is awesome because you have a lot of the 3DR guys who are willing to go ahead and modify. It's so open to be able to modify, and they've been doing loads to it, but then you don't have 3DR actually supporting them anymore. Just like with Autel, you have these Autel guys, and Autel's not backing up those people. Autel's not even sending out any batteries anymore. So you're going to have these people that are buying new batteries that are failing, and it sucks. There's no competition, or not competition. The solution is to not do real estate videos and get into something the average guy can't do. The problem is, what is there to be able to do now? You know, that is the problem. Oh, Autel did start putting out batteries again. That's good. They actually have good cells, or are they just marked as new and just never sold off the shelf? You know, I agree with construction, but it's hard to get into it. And Sarah, I've tried partnering up with a realty company, and a lot of them blow me off. So, yeah, 3D mapping is a good one. It's a hard one to really get into, and you have to kind of show your worth for that stuff. I'd be willing to look into 3D mapping, just even basic 3D mapping. What is it? It's hard to get in. That's the point. Thanks, Brad. Even 3D mapping. What, you have a drone deploy? That's one of them, right? Yeah, play with drone deploy. And I might go ahead and do that, and that would be really cool. But at the same time, is it going to end up falling along the same lines that this article mentions? This article, that one right there. Is it over here? Yep, right here, up here. Yep. Map a park. I can map the neighborhood. I can map my neighborhood. I think that might be cool. I don't know. I've never played around with drone deploy, but at the same time, I've heard negative things about drone deploy as well. So I don't know. True. Brad, have you done any 3D mapping at all? Transition back to off of this. Look at that transition! Woo! Yeah, Brad, I'm curious if you've done any 3D mapping as well, or if you've dabbled. Drone deploy is the least desirable. I mean, I'd be willing to go ahead and pop into some other options. You have done it. How successful was it? Oh, you are? Okay, that's cool. You're not using drone deploy? I am curious if you're able to even tell me. What are you using? And if you tell me you're using an Inspire with your buddy from Robo Aerial, then I'm not going to count that. Yeah, you can't say much at this point. I understand, and for the most part, you know a lot of that stuff you can't say anything about it. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably end up looking into it, to be perfectly honest. Um, yeah, I don't know. You're using your P4P. All right, that's pretty cool. So let's see what other kind of let's dive into that. 3D mapping with Phantom 4 Pro. So there's an article on Phantom pilots. Yeah, I just saw that Pix 4D. And people are mentioning, the same thing. Well, you can use Litchi apparently with Pix 4D. I don't know. Yeah, these people are just talking about installing it. I don't know. I might go play around with it. Let me go to their website, Pix4D. So their website is going to be, what is it? Pix4D.com. That's pretty cool. Putting the 3D replicas of the building. So, all right, I'm gonna transition this back and switch. Alright, so this is Pix4D Capture. Oh, I don't want to play with drone deploy first. I'd rather go ahead and just jump right in. Yeah, it's fine. Massive process. I'd rather jump in and try seeing if I can play around with it instead of learning one and then having to learn another afterwards. So a lot of this seems like it's just automated. You just go ahead and fly and it does everything on its own. Yeah, a lot of the flying is automated. Yeah, because it mentions you can do the mission, you can set the angles of the camera, the flight altitude, the image overlap. I mean, essentially, yeah, I do like to sink or swim. This seems like, honestly, just a gigantic version of a panoramic picture almost. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It does, and so do panoramic pictures. They take practice as well. I mean, I tried doing drone base, and that was a pain in the ass, to say the least. To go ahead and yeah, and I understand it would be on a simplistic level, but just putting together panoramic pictures was kind of a pain in the ass too. And stitching those, and you know. Drone base didn't want to accept anything, and whenever I went to go retake the pictures, their missions went away. So I don't know, but just some thoughts. I mean, you know, I want this to be able to go ahead and yeah, drone base does suck. That's very right. Yes, Brad, I agree. But if something can go ahead and make money, hopefully we can, you know, maybe work it out to where it doesn't suck as much. But that's all I gotta say about, you know, about that. I mean, I'll probably go ahead and if I have some free time, I'll probably play around. Oh, I'm gonna have plenty of free time to play. Hey, Ozbeach, how's it going? We're talking. Oh, we were talking about drone. Oh God, I just drew a blank. Drone pricing going down, and now we're talking about Pix4D and aerial mapping, 3D mapping, everything like that. Look at that! Look at that! Variables here. Variables here. What's new, variable? What is new, Matt, Mr. Variable? Is there anything new? Anything that you would want to share with us for the day? No, his phone was vibrating because I messaged him. Ready, and transition. Oh. That was a good transition, right? I thought it was. Wow, I sit here, I talk for almost 30 minutes with only like 2 or 3 people here. And now there's 6. So we doubled in 30 minutes. That's great. Woohoo! So, why what? We were talking about him. That's right. That is right. So Matt, do you want to chime in? Talking about 3D mapping. Earlier we were talking about pricing on drone photography work and everything going down in price. Do you have anything that you want to go ahead and chime in and say? You want to talk about any new drone purchases or anything of that nature at all. You have anything you want to chip in, Mr. Variable, Mr. Matt? Or have you been too busy playing Fortnite like I have? Maybe. Okay. Oh, I see Lilu licking her paw behind me. It's good stuff. Good stuff. You haven't been playing as much Fortnite? I don't know. Do you want to play tonight? We can play tonight. I haven't gotten to play on there with you. I know you're on PS4, but I can pop on, switch over to Windows and play a couple rounds of Fortnite with you. My microphone's not working all that great. So, yeah. Did you finally give up on the X-Star? And finally give up on... Yeah, squeaky chair, squeaky chair. My chairs are always squeaky. Give up on waiting for the Evo at this point, Matt? I know you were holding off and you were waiting for that thing to come out. So, in your opinion, how different do you think the P4P is compared to your X-Star? I personally have not played around with any of the Autel drones, just because I haven't. I played around with the 3DR Solo. Fair enough. All right, so I'm gonna do third-party apps. Which third-party app are you using now, Matt? I wonder why it's starting to feel hot in here. Gotta change the thermostat. It was 77 degrees in here. Yeah, I'm just curious which third-party app you're using. Honestly, since I switched to the Phantom 4 Advanced, I haven't really played around with Litchi that much. I downloaded Kitty Hawk and tried that out, and didn't really do much with that either. I mainly stick with the DJI Go 4 app. Pix 4D and Maps Made Easy. Well, what's Maps Made Easy? Let's look into that. That gives us something to talk about. All right, let's see. Matt, you do a lot of mapping, don't you? All right, Brad, have a good one. Maps Made Easy looks pretty cool. So let me go ahead and transition that over. Going back. This is what you're using, variable, Matt? Oh, my live chat went away. Can't see anything in live chat now. Problem is that I would have with this is that it's available on the App Store, and I have nothing Apple that I plug up to my drone. Got my Pixel 2 XL, so it looks like that's something I can't look into yet. So I don't know. I'm just trying to throw around ideas, even for myself, to try doing. You know, we were talking about 3D mapping, just because a lot of aerial photographers around here, it's just, if you're established, you make tons of money. If you're not established, you make no money. You can't even get the chance to be established around here. So are you still flying your X-Star around at all, or no? Hey, what's up, Indy Kurt? You actually made it to the live stream. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, yeah, and I don't know, Maps Easy. I may not have any controls for the drone, but like if I can't even use it. I need, you know, I run Android phones, so. See, in Indy Kurt, I agree with you on roof estimations. It does look easy, and like, especially being here in Florida, that was why I did the Part 107 in the first place, because I had people, they're like, oh, you fly drones, can you come inspect my roof? Well, no, I'm not Part 107 certified. Now I am. And as soon as I did that, nobody asked, because all the hurricanes went by. So. Matt, I think you're a little delayed on the live stream here. I don't know how much of a delay we're dealing with. So, well, that's all. I mean, I don't have anything else really to say about these topics. I mean, we went over a lot of it. We were talking about, you know, Indy. I don't know if you heard any of the beginning of the live stream at all or not. I'm talking about, you know, just people that were making, you know, $2,000 a day, making about $175 a day for doing the same thing, you know, photography and everything like that with their drones. So yeah, I mean, it's all right. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna look at because I also opened up Pix4D and everything. I'm gonna try messing around with a drone deploy, because Brad was suggesting that and everything. And I'm gonna just I'll probably play around in the neighborhood or something just to see what I can do with it, and maybe I can throw that into my repertoire, so to speak. So, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream tonight. We've been going about 38 minutes or so. That's an interesting way to go about it. My only concern is that, okay, doing one free one to each big roofing company is good, but then again, you know, once you do the free one, they got what they need. They don't want to, you know, do it again. Yeah, you run into the possibility of them going, oh, he did a great job, let's go ahead and hire him again. He always gives a free one, so it's a great idea. But my concern is that, oh yeah, get this guy, he'll do it. You got your big job, yeah, he'll do it for free for that one time. You always have these free jobs, and then you're, you know, out this ability of making money sometimes. But I know it's not always about money. It's about getting your name out there too. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword. But it's something I'm starting to look into. You know, if anyone doesn't know, my current position is going away at the job I work at. So, trying to find ways to maybe get my drone business to lift off the ground, so to speak. Ha 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 ha, drone jokes. But yeah, so, alright, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I know Ashley should be on her way home. She wants me to make dinner and a whole bunch of other stuff. She gave me a honey-do list. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and probably end it here. Variable, if you want to play Fortnite, send me a message and maybe we can set something up. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. I have to look. I have to support my fiance's Disney habit. That's right, and I have to make dinner because that's what I do. So, thanks guys for joining in on the chat. We had quite a bit of back and forth here, and I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys watching. Let's go ahead and see if I can do the outro. Ready? All right. Let's see. Will it go ahead and be everything I hope it is? Let's see. Because I probably didn't do it right. All right. Ready? And 3. No. Okay, that's wrong. And 3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Say bye to Lilu. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Oh, look, she's licking my hand. No. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.